Hey guys, just found out how much it's actually going to cost us to buy a house.
Never buy a house on more than a 15-year mortgage.
Dave Ramsey's out of his f***ing mind.
We've paid $9,286.32. $6,423.23 has gone to interest.
I don't think people realize how difficult buying a home has actually become, because at this point, it's not just high home prices anymore. Between mortgage rates, hidden repairs, HOA fees, and everything else that comes with owning a home, what used to be part of growing up is starting to feel completely out of reach for a lot of people. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why buying a home feels impossible and what's really happening in the housing market. We have a ton of stuff to go over today as well, including some of your comments. So if you want to be in the next episode, definitely make sure to leave your thoughts on this down below. How are people buying homes in 2025? Let's find out.
So how is everybody buying homes? Because I need to know the tips and tricks now. We started the home hunting process and it is not going well. Pretty much every avenue we go down, it seems like there's just more and more roadblocks. You know, the single family home, you have to worry about the taxes, the CDD fees. There's also an HOA. Oh,
Sure.
What about home insurance? Then you go down the route of a townhome. Guess what? The HOA is another car payment. Genuinely, like, my brain feels like it's going to explode. And then you find a house you like, and guess what? They won't accept FHA, okay? They want conventional only. So that means you got to put up like 70 grand cash, and I don't have that, okay? Unless I can pay in debt, I don't have that, okay? You know, it's not like we don't even make good money, you know? Separately, me and my partner, we make good money. Together, we make great money, okay? I want to go back to the times where you could buy a house, a beautiful house, for under 200 grand. My partner's, his parents, they bought a house, their first home, for under 100 grand. My parents,
Under
beautiful
100K.
suburb area, they bought theirs for under 200 grand. So I want to just understand why it's so expensive to buy a home right now. Okay, you want to know what I can get for under 200 grand in Tampa? Nothing. Nada.
Yep.
Can't buy a plot of land. I probably could get maybe a 4x4 cardboard box in Tampa for under 200 grand. This is just like genuinely mind-blowing to me. Okay, so I need to know, how are we buying homes in 2025? Let me know.
You know how people are buying homes? They're not. It's that simple. See, a lot of interesting points she brought up. A lot of it has to do with like location. And this is exactly why I moved out of Florida and I moved to North Carolina, because the housing prices, your money just goes so much further. For example, like she brought up, the HOA fees, if you get a townhome, are like another car payment. It's so true. I don't know if it's different in other states, but in Florida specifically, if you got a condo, co-op, or townhome, you're looking at anywhere between like $600 and $1,500 a month just in HOA fees, which is essentially rent. That's not even including that you now are responsible for fixing the whole thing, and you have to shell out hundreds of thousands of dollars just to own it. It's ridiculous. And it really is a total shame, because I am house hunting right now and it is pretty difficult. A lot easier here, I will say, in the Carolinas than in Florida or in New York. However, like she said, if you have a good income, it's not enough. Even a great income, having two people, it's still not enough. You need to have like exceptional, crazy income, like doctor's salary, and then manage to not spend any of it or have generational wealth, because there's really no other option for people in their 20s, and I'd even argue early 30s. Anywho, I wanted to read a couple of comments that people had left on that TikTok because I found them interesting. I bought my first home in 2023 at 26 through hard work and dedication. And by that, I mean I was hit by a rideshare driver and won $400,000 in a settlement when I sued the driver and the rideshare company. Like these are how people are buying homes now in 2025 and 2026. Just crazy phenomenons, or winning the lottery or something like that, because just traditional hard work and a stable income, even a dual income, that's not enough anymore.
Hey guys, just found out how much it's actually going to cost us to buy a house. We're making a GoFundMe if you want to.
Also, guys, super quick before I forget, we are so close, moments away from hitting 100,000 subscribers on the channel. I think we have like less than, 3,000 or 2,000 subscribers left, which is insane to me. Once we hit 100K on the channel, I am going to do a live stream on Twitch, and we're going to pick a winner because I'm going to be giving away $1,000 to hopefully pay off somebody's debt, their car payment, bills, groceries, whatever it is. So if you want to help me out and give this away ASAP, definitely take a look down below and make sure that you are subscribed.
In case you were curious what the housing market is like right now, my husband and I found a house that we absolutely loved, kind of a dream for us, on Thursday. We went and looked at it on Thursday. Put in an offer 10 grand over asking on Thursday. They had multiple offers already on Thursday. They decided, because they knew a bunch of people were going to be interested, to wait until Sunday, today, to do best and final offer, which means we had to put in our absolute best and final offer. We went up to 30 grand over asking, and we offered a $20,000 appraisal gap, which is if the house gets appraised for less than what you offered, you have to cover that gap with cash at the closing table. So we offered that. We also, in our offer, said that we're going to do inspections, but we're not going to ask them for any concessions or repairs. So if anything came back bad, they didn't have to fix it. Also, 3-week close. We didn't even stand a chance. We lost. They had 9 offers. 9 offers. Somebody offered, I think, 40 or 50 grand over asking with a full appraisal gap, which means 40 or 50 grand. Like, I just actually want to die because now I'm depressed, and it was my dream house. And now someone else gets to have my dream house because I'm too poor. I love my life.
I really do think this is very like location biased because, my parents live on Long Island. I grew up on Long Island my whole life. I still have family and relatives on Long Island and in New York in general. And this is all I hear. Cash offers, and everybody is getting outbid, and the houses are selling for $80,000 to $100,000 over asking, and it's nearly impossible for any, first-time home buyer, 5%, even 20% down, actually getting their offer accepted because people are coming in with like $800,000 cash and cleaning the table. Cleaning the house. It's insane. So hopefully when it's my turn to start looking for a house, I can get a fairly decent deal because what I've noticed is at least here in the Carolinas, I'm seeing a house get listed for, $600, and then 3 weeks later it's at $580, and then another 3 weeks go by and it's down to $560 and then $550. So it seems like we're slowly starting to balance out, especially with interest rates nearing 6%.
If you borrow $500,000 today at 6.5%, you're going to pay back $1.137 million roughly. That's $637,000 plus the $500 you borrowed. It's not 6.5% per annum. That's 127% over 30 years. You're going to pay back the $500 you borrowed plus another $630 odd in interest.
What happens over a 10-year?
You're going to diminish that, and you're only going to pay $100,000 or $200,000 in interest.
Oh yeah.
So you'll literally save on that one. You probably save about $479,000 in interest.
What would be a weekly repayment or monthly repayment difference between a 10-year and that 30-year?
This is a really good question. You're going to get me fucking fired up here. There's no such thing as minimum repayments.
Yeah, you could pay whatever you want towards your principal while you have a mortgage. And this is the biggest problem that I'm seeing with people is they are maxing out their loan that they're getting offered from banks. And they're spending every bit of it when they can't afford it. And they are scraping by and essentially paying the minimum owed over the 30 years, and you are paying more than double for what that house costs. It's insane. Why pay a $3,500 a month mortgage when renting could be $1,700? Throw the difference in the stock market, and in 10 years, you could buy a house cash or have a very sizable down payment.
Never buy a house on more than a 15-year mortgage.
Dave Ramsey's out of his f***ing mind. The median household income in America is $78,000, or $6,500 a month.
Yep.
After taxes, that's about $4,800. Dave also says,
And never buy a house where the payment is more than a fourth of your take-home pay.
which means that with your median take-home income, your mortgage should be a maximum of $1,200 a month. With a 15-year mortgage, that affords you a house worth about $148,000. This is about $200,000 cheaper than the median home, but we'll take what we can get. Let's go to Zillow, plug in our price, and see what pops up in my home state of Connecticut. In Hartford, you can get this gorgeous home, and a nice location as well. The kitchen might need some love, and there's a hole in the wall and the ceiling, but on the bright side, you get 2 bedrooms. Anyway, let's check New Haven, because I found this beauty with a spacious 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It has this beautiful stained glass window, plenty of outlets, and it even comes condemned per the city. Sometimes the best deals happen rurally, because for just $130,000, you get the privilege of building your own house.
See, that's the same thing as the houses he showed. You'd probably be better off buying the plot of land because there's no building on it. Those other houses, the only reason why you're getting it for $150K is because the owner doesn't want to demolish the whole thing because that costs money to do. They'd rather you spend the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to take all that crap away and dump it. But this is the biggest problem with Dave Ramsey's logic. As much as I love the guy and a lot of his advice is very good, there's several outdated flaws I've noticed with his advice, and this is definitely one of them. Someone says, just have money. It's that simple, folks. And that really is the answer. Like, cut and try. This market is not for us anymore. It's not for people in their 20s. It really is not. And that's the unfortunate part. It's for people in their late 30s, if not in their 40s, because by that time, if you've done everything right with your money, you would hopefully be able to have saved and invested over, the course of, 10 to 20 working years of your career, and then you'd be able to buy something. And that's hoping the market doesn't explode by the time you reach that age.
We've paid $9,286.32. We only have $952 of our actual mortgage paid off. $6,000 of that, $6,423.23 has gone to interest, and $1,911 has gone to taxes and insurance.
$6,000 to interest?
$6,000 to interest. Our interest rate is 6.99%.
Wow. I'm going to give it to her, though. Her house looks beautiful for $38,000. Is that a manufactured home on a plot of land in Idaho or something like that? Because she got a good deal on that. But this is the harsh reality of, new homeowners, is they have absolutely no idea how much they're actually paying. It's not always a good idea to just jump into a house. The first, half of your mortgage, the first 14 to 15 years, you're literally just paying interest. Loans are front loaded, which means you pay the bank first so they get their money. Then you can start building up some equity unless the house builds some value over the years. Someone says, pay an extra $100 on principal payment each month and you'll save 5 years of interest. And this is honestly the hack. If you want to get ahead, you want to build some equity, you have to pay down that loan. You have to pay towards principal more than just the minimum. It's that simple. And this is why it is such a bad idea to max out the amount that they give you. You're better off buying a house that you can afford reasonably, where you have a cushion that can then be put down towards principal, if that makes sense.
This is where all of my money goes. Every time a bill comes, I just hate owning a home, because who needs to pay $250 for fucking electric?
$250 towards electric, that really doesn't seem that bad. I just got my electric bill this morning for $140 for a 2-bed. That's a 1,200 square foot apartment. And I was a little annoyed about that. I know that getting a house that's going to be double the size or 2 stories is going to be a lot more expensive, but that don't seem that bad. But again, a lot of people that buy homes don't realize all the hidden costs that come in with home ownership. At least with renting, you know what you're going to pay. With a mortgage, that's just the beginning. Everything goes up after that. Your home insurance, repairs, taxes, your escrow. Honestly, it feels like houses will just keep getting worse. What a shame. So, like, on top of the fact that houses are beyond unaffordable and we're not going to have them in our lifetime, then throw in that the new houses that are being built are just scams. They're just money grabs. Let's just prop it up, make it look pretty on the outside, make it look pretty on the inside, but an absolute nightmare behind the walls. And as long as it lasts through the builder's warranty and they get their money, they don't really give a shit.
I honestly wish somebody would have told me how overrated it is to own a home. My fiance and I just sold our house. We are back to renting. I'm ecstatic. He's ecstatic. We are saving so much. We were really young and stupid when we bought our house, so I'll give you that. But the weight that has been lifted off of our shoulders is, I can't explain it. There is so much maintenance that comes with the house, and our mortgage was ridiculously expensive. I can't even say the number because I'm embarrassed. We are probably not going to buy again for a very long time, or at least until we find our forever home. Just a PSA, if you're not ready for the maintenance and the cost that it comes to own a house, don't do it. Take your time. Please take your time. Find a good realtor.
And that's why you should feel no shame in renting. Don't get me wrong. Renting is no forever plan because rent is just going to continue to go up forever and ever. And a part of achieving financial freedom is to own your house so that you can live comfortably when you're retired and not having money coming in. But you don't have to feel pressured into buying a home early because it is a massive, massive undertaking and massive responsibility. You don't really own anything that costs that much. Your car is maybe 20 to 30K. So when a repair comes up, okay, maybe it's $500 and that hurts. Can you imagine if you add another zero? Now, instead of 30 grand for that car, it's 300,000 for that house. And instead of a $500 repair, it's a $5,000 repair. That's the problem when you leverage yourself out and are buying bigger things that most people just can't handle. Someone says, girl, wait, what? So you rather pay off someone else's mortgage? I don't get it. And this is the fallacy that society has convinced us. Again, it's not the do-all end-all. I don't think, renting forever is a good idea, but you should definitely consider renting for as long as possible because if you do it right, you can stack up a lot of money on the side. My apartment only cost me $1,700. The most reasonable, cheapest house I can find has a mortgage of like $3,000 to $3,500 on top of putting $100K down. That means for several years, I can put $1,700 to $1,800 away in investments and just continue to stack on and pile up money.
My husband and I have a $3,400 mortgage payment every month. They're only $25. So I'm going to give a little bit of insight as to how we afford this every month. Well, in my comment section saying we're living way above our means, which honestly, yes, $3,400 is not an easy payment to make every single month. But for some context, we both work a normal 8 to 5 corporate job. Those are only 2 out of our 4 income streams. We also own and manage a cleaning company. We have employees that go clean houses for us during the week, and then we make money off the top of the clean. I do social media on the side. That definitely provides a little bit of extra income every single month. And then we also do things like dog sitting or house sitting on the side whenever we get asked to. And then we also go clean houses ourselves on the weekends. Like tomorrow after church, we're going to go clean a house and make an extra $300. We were looking for houses. We knew we wanted to buy in an area that was going to resell really, really well. We bought in a really popular neighborhood about half a mile outside of downtown Greenville. Also bought a house that needed some interior work. Bought it for $400,000. Already renovated the kitchen. We're in the process of renovating one of the bathrooms. And we get ready to sell it. We are already going to be able to sell it for close to $600,000. And when that time comes, we'll have an extra $150 grand to put down on our next house. Hopefully be able to get a lower interest rate. We knew that this house was going to be a good investment because it needed work and we were willing to do the work ourselves and also willing to sacrifice by working on weekends and doing extra things to make more money to afford our mortgage payment the way it is right now.
That's a little interesting. It sounds like a lot of justification denial. I'm not saying that that's a bad idea, but she literally just said that she now has to work 6 to 7 jobs to afford her $3,400 a month mortgage. That's hard. That's terrible. So is that what it takes now? You have to work 7 jobs on the weekends as well in order to scrape by and pay off your mortgage every month so that you're not late. To me, that sounds like living above your means, and that's not enjoyable. I feel a lot better knowing that I can pay my rent every month, have a couple $1,000s left over at the end of that month, and not have to stress on the weekends. It's a much better, like, emotional feeling. Not to mention, most people say you shouldn't consider your renovations to add value to your home more than what it costs to, like, do that renovation. Like, that's not a good justification to increasing a house. But I mean, good for you if you're able to just renovate a kitchen and a bathroom, and now somehow the house goes from 400 to 650,000 or whatever it is, 450 to 600K in just a couple of years. You should also go into buying a house thinking you're going to live there for at least 7 years, because if you only live there for a couple, it doesn't give the house enough time to appreciate. And with closing costs and realtor fees and taxes and insurance that you would pay, you're more than likely going to take a loss on that house if you sell it in less than 7 years. Oh my God. Oh my God. Someone left a comment, toss a cigarette. All your problems will go away. See, this is why HOAs become more attractive to me, because if you're in a non-HOA and like the town doesn't really have any great codes of enforcement, you're fucked, to say the least. I really don't want to live in a place where my neighbor can make my house go down $80,000 in value in a couple of months because they pull some shit like this. This is the harsh reality with homeownership, and why when I do purchase a house, I may have to get one in an HOA, a low-cost HOA, understand all the rules, read all the bylaws, but the last thing you want is something like this to happen to you.
This economy is like really just awful. I thought I'm 27 years old. I'm a registered nurse in the state of Florida. And I was like, I have a good career. Like, I'm going to be able to buy a house easy. No problem. Wrong. Like, I want to buy a house like $300,000 or less.
Nope.
And because I don't want to be house poor. And the houses I'm looking at in that my like budget are literal shacks. Like, they are shacks. It is insane. You hear people talk about mortgages that were $700-800 a month. That's like a thing of the past. That no way in hell. $2,200, $2,500 a month easily. And I work a lot of overtime, but if I wasn't working overtime, I make about $4,500 a month. There's no way. Like, nope. $2,500 of that going towards rent. Like, I rent currently. I just thought,
that's expensive.
I thought for sure
rent.
I'd be able to like own a house by now.
Did she say $2,500 for rent as one person?
There's no way. Like, $2,500 of that going towards rent. Like, I rent.
That's the craziest part. Let me let her finish.
Currently. I just thought.
She's renting for $2,500 a month. That's absolutely absurd for one person. I understand, if you're living in an urban city, it's going to cost you more. But if possible, get out of it. That's insane. I'm renting a 2-bed for $1,700. You could find a studio even like close to me for, I don't know, $1,500, $1,400, $1,300.
I thought for sure I'd be able to like own a house by now. And the houses that are in my budget are like little she sheds, I swear. Or they are complete fixer-uppers that you need to have money to then gut it and completely redo. And I'm like, who has this money to just dish out? Because I don't come from money. Like, it is such a depressing feeling that you go to school, you work a job. It's just, I don't know. It sucks.
There used to be a time when like a mortgage was cheaper than renting. That's been, I don't know, 10, 15 years now. We'll never see that again. Something I've noticed is like every time I manage to scrounge up and save a little more money, and then I look at the market, houses go up. So it's like, maybe over 5 years I saved up 50, 60K. But then when I look back at the market, houses have now gone up 150K from where they were. And it's like, there's just no way to catch up. POV, you went to caulk the bathroom tub, which led to finding hidden problems. We might get a
pretty bathroom out of this. That is freaking disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get a clawfoot tub.
He's pissed, and she's just yapping at him. She don't realize how serious this just got.
What? What does it look like? Oh God, I can't see anything, and I don't know if I want to see anything.
Oh.
You got it all.
Oh no.
Oh.
That's real bad.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, the floor's rotted through.
I think we should still get a coffee tub. Maybe in the next house. How about this one? We just get this one back going.
Oh my gosh.
Damn, he's good.
Huh?
I said, damn, he's good.
He's real good.
You damn right. I know how to cook.
Holler for it.
Ew.
And this is why I said if you can't turn a wrench, home ownership is not for you. He's doing a job that, it's crazy how they went from a $7 caulk job to a, $3,000 job, $4,000 job, and that's doing it himself. This is easily a $15,000 job, hiring somebody else to do this. And this is what's so scary about it too. You really need to make sure you get your shit inspected, or you could be obliterated. Your savings, your livelihood, obliterated with a setback like this. And this happens more times than I can count with home ownership. But that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts. Are you looking to purchase a home anytime soon? How much is your mortgage? I'd love to know down in the comment section below. With that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. If you haven't seen my previous New Homes Are Absolutely Horrible episode, definitely make sure to check it out right after this. Peace.